What is up, Whale family? This is Nytmare bringing you Hangtime, where we talk NBA Top Shot, the market, fantasy basketball, and all things hoops and hype. Have a special guest with us today, Roon. Roon, what up?
Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Awesome. Glad to have you with us to chat and BS about sports and everything else going on. Man, what is going on? The NBA is in full swing, and the Celtics were immortalized by a Luka buzzer beater that I'm sure will become an NBA Top Shot moment over the past couple of weeks.
If it's not, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, so Ronan, just so we're clear, although you're in the New England region, your allegiances lie with the Philadelphia 76ers. Why is this?
Yeah, so I am a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I actually grew up I'm from this area, born in this area, excuse me, but I lived in just south of Philly for quite a while before I moved back up here. So I'm an Eagles fan, I'm a Sixers fan, I'm a Flyers fan, I'm a Phillies fan.
All right, that's acceptable. At least you have a geographic reason. It's not just you pulled the name out of a hat or you thought the jacket was cool. Although, speaking of that, I was talking to someone the other day and they were like this was an amazing correlation for some of my friends. They were like, NFTs and getting these profile pics are like when we were younger grabbing those starter jackets.
Yes.
They were like, you didn't have to actually like the Miami Hurricanes, which was my team, by the way. I liked rocking the green and orange, but you just pick something to be like you identified with and that you would kind of social flag with. So you had all kinds of people with Notre Dame or, Charlotte Hornets, whatever it was at the time.
So you remember, okay, so I'm going to tell you a little quick story, and you'll probably find this really funny. So the reason I am loyal to the Sixers and have been a fan since I was like 6 or 7 years old. Well, when I was about 12 or 13, I didn't really kind of know what jumping the bandwagon was. But so what I did was I was a huge fan of Charles Barkley, especially when he played for the Sixers. And actually to this day, my favorite number is his jersey, 34. That is my absolute favorite number. And it's actually because I enjoyed watching him play so much. So when he got traded to the Suns, I actually followed the Suns for a very long time throughout their whole run against the Bulls in the championship games, Danny Ainge, Thunder Dan Marley, all of them. So I picked up the Phoenix Suns starter jacket. So I had that. I didn't have a Sixers one, but then I got older and realized, it's I got to be true to myself and to my team. So the Sixers is where it was at. So I got on board back before Allen Iverson came into the league and all that stuff. So yeah, that's my history.
It's funny. I have some of my old jerseys from way back then because I used to keep them in impeccable condition. And my wife's like, "Who did you get these from? Because these are like 4XL or whatever the sizes are. These are gigantic." I'm like, "That's the way we wore them back then." She still doesn't. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. But anyway, this is nonsense right here. This is not happening. Just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, this right here. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I want him gone. I do not understand why he's reacting the way he's reacting. I get that you want to get out, but I'm not. I was a huge Simmons fan, and it really hurt me that I saw that this was happening. But this going to the Celtics? Ugh.
Yeah, not happening. So we won't spend too much time on it. But with the NBA in full swing, this was cool the other night. Saw that fans coming talking about NFTs again. Everything that we can have in the NBA ecosystem will in turn and the NBA promotional monster that it is, right, is going to help NBA Top Shot and that market, which certainly seems like it could use a shot in the arm right now with what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you this because you're a resident soccer guy. I hear this is a savage moment. Could you give us a little bit of context on what happened here? Roon, you still with us?
Yeah. I went to bring up my Top Shot and I accidentally closed it down.
You know what? That's probably appropriate given what the market's doing right now.
Yeah, no, it's a new moment for me, especially this being my first time on this. But anyway, this was amazing. This was absolutely wonderful. So a little bit of background on this. USMNT and Mexico have a huge rivalry going back like many decades. And so during the World Cup qualifier, Ochoa, the goalkeeper for Mexico, basically said that Mexico is the mirror that USMNT is trying to strive for, something to that effect. So they basically saying that they want to be like us. And so Christian Pulisic, who's been injured for a long time, he is one of the main stars for USMNT. He comes in and literally a couple minutes later scores the goal, making it 2-0 or 1-0. It was the go ahead goal, and he pulls it up saying "man in the mirror" because he's saying no, we're our own people, we're our own team, we got this. So it was just a nice burn to the Mexican goalkeeper.
Nice. Being the resident expert, we're gonna have to call you up, especially with a lot of the NFTs that are dropping relative to football and soccer, however you want to call it. That's an explosive market just waiting to really get its legs under it, I'm sure. Probably it's the lack of centralization of one concise source for it, kind of fragmenting it, keeping it from being the powerhouse that it could be. But I'm sure that someone's going to run away with it, and surely that's going to be a powerhouse alongside TopShot and likely NFL Dapper, right?
And I will be the first one to sign up and stand in line for those packs if they do anything like what TopShot did with the soccer world. Oh my God, yeah,
right. But let's talk about TopShot real quick. So as everyone knows, the market right now is in a little bit of hurt. The market cap has slid at the $800,000 level. That's down about 4% versus a week ago, which again was a 10% slide. You see this big cliff right here, coinciding with a lot of action in the greater crypto market. People try to ride run-ups. They don't want to be left on the sideline when the train goes. And likewise, people need to find liquidity for different things. There's been kind of a shift in the overall market as far as behavior of the consumer right now. And if you take a look at our market analytics room, if you're a role holder within the whale community, you can see more insight on that, specifically with the fear and greed index and what's really driving that, right? So relative to the average transaction, it's gone down, but the number of transactions, the number of people holding ETH has gone up. So it's an interesting paradigm right now. How it's going to affect NBA TopShot, we are seeing right before our eyes, right? So if we look over at moment ranks, obviously these are different methodologies, so it's a little bit different, but all metrics down at the moment. Transactions really surged heading into this past weekend with the Series 3 drop that happened on Friday. But again, those are a lot of low value moments. They just flooded supply into the market with purpose though, but it definitely added a lot of supply. So, the decline, the slide here is consistent across their index as well as the overall market. This is now at like $750,000. But if we look at the month numbers here, well, this thing keeps wanting to revert back. It doesn't want me to zoom out. You can see this run up in transactions that had just happened over the past weekend. Yet despite that, the sales volume is on that downward slope. So, lower value moments with purpose, so they say, with their strategy. If we look at the base sets kind of baseline value for their moments, it slid once again this week down about 5% each, right? Slightly above on base 2, slightly below on base 1. The one thing that's consistent here is we're continuing to see this uptick in users. Now we're past 600,000 users. We were in the 500s forever. So I'm glad to see, more benefit from what they're trying to do as far as outreach goes. And maybe this is the proof that what they're doing with supply and trying to drive people to the marketplace is serving them well. As far as getting more people into the ecosystem goes.
Yeah, one thing I notice about that is if you look at when it really starts to drive up, it's toward the start of the season. I have a feeling that the trend will be, you'll have your summer cool down and then you'll have your start of the season rise. And that I think will happen as, the games are being played and more hype behind the NBA gets going.
It's interesting because for a while you could see a strong correlation with the macro crypto market, but there was a brief period where it was sustaining itself despite what the greater market did, right? And now it seems to have coupled a little bit again. I think it's a little short of a time period to try to say that specifically, but it may be the case, right? We know that the greater NFT market is moving in unison with it for the most part as well, especially with some of the liquidity being kind of spread thinner with so many PFP projects, and even on Dapper, right? The Dapper ecosystem has expanded greatly since FlowFest. People are involved in all kinds of things, Starly, and they're all over the place. Even this Ballerz drop, right? People took their Dapper dollars and applied it to that. So, we'll see how that's going to have an effect. In theory, it should circle back around. And so just getting more people into the ecosystem should pay dividends down the road. But right now, given all the different factors involved, people are feeling the pinch for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's a given, and I agree with what you said. I think everything's going to come back around.
The whale vault now just below $30 million. I'm going to call it $30 million because I like the number. Not far off from where it was. It's down about 14% versus where it was prior, but this isn't something that has a lot of liquidity in all of the moments. We're talking some very, very scarce rares. So I think a couple of market moves can really influence this price, especially if it's a LeBron or something that's a substantial portion of what comprises the value here. So, I'm not too worried about this slide. We'll see if that continues. I think 25 or around there was the local low over the past, let's say, 6 months or so. So that's really where I'd want to see. If we fall below that, I'd say, hey, we have a bigger issue here. Over on Evaluate Market, again, different methodology here. We're floating at around the $36-37 million range, right? And so that's down about 10% versus where it was prior week. And again, similar factors involved here in what's driving things. If I look at these two kind of random moments that I've been following since I didn't bite when they were super deals, and I was just staring at them every night saying, hey, pull the trigger now or not. This Series 1 Jokic is now at $87. I think the high was $150. The low was $55. So this is down a bit from last week. I think it's down about 10%, in line with what we saw from the greater market. Now, this Tyrese Halliburton, on the other hand, is a significant drop from where we were last week, $305 to $250. I think $420 around there on the high, $150 on the low. So we're creeping towards it. I don't necessarily think this is a terrible thing. The season's ongoing, and obviously players' performances and trends with teams and stuff are going to impact it also. But it does tell me, hey, if you want to be vigilant, there's probably opportunities out there to scoop some stuff, right? So that's what I'll be trying to do.
Yeah, and I think also one thing to think about, especially when it comes to the vault and any of these moments, is that they're going to age very, very well in respect to as time goes on and as players, continue to play better. You're going to see those fluctuations up and down based on player performance, especially, Halliburton didn't have a great week, but he's still, it's showing in the price, but those are good opportunities to also snag them up. Like I picked up a few Joel Embiid's last year when he was in his slump, and then, got it for a really, really good deal. So, and I'm holding on to them for a very long time. But in regards to the vault, the moments that we have and the types and the cards that we do have, they're going to go up as time goes on, as players retire, as it's just inevitable because they're going to be memorable and people are going to want them. So.
People have really poor performances, and then you can think of it as an opportunity if you have a lot of faith in that player moving forward. What happened over the past week? We touched on this, right? So on Friday, base set Series 3 release number 2 pack drop happened, $9 a pop. There was 350,000 packs released into the market. Instead of just being able to buy 10 and everybody else watching for 3 hours on the outside on the queue, you could buy 5 at a time twice. I had a lot going on that day, so I managed to get in there once and scoop 5. I think if you guys have the appetite, we'll rip them at the end and maybe give away some moments from the packs. But was able to scoop 5 for the culture, and we'll see what happens. That flood of supply definitely dropped the floor on moments. Some people are saying that's good. It makes collector score stacking more accessible. But this is not a surprise. They put out their roadmap for the series, and it was like 2 to 3 sets per month coming out. So they're going to be hitting the market with lots of supply, and that's the plan, right? They're trying to drive people to the platform. It's working because we see that, they're increasing the velocity of onboarding new people. But they need to pay mind to the economy and making sure they don't ostracize their early adopters and the people that have invested in it. So I don't envy their position. A difficult thing to have to juggle for sure.
Yeah, I waited in line and then lost my place in line because I had to go get my kids, and then thought I was done and got right back in line and ended up snagging 2 packs. So I was stoked about that.
Nice. Yeah, and we have a new showcase challenge today. We have a 0506 Vintage Vibes Tony Parker. In order to do this, you need 1 Spurs archive moment. You need 6 archive moments that are 3-pointers or jump shots. You got until Wednesday afternoon here on the East Coast, so around 2 p.m., 11 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. So Wednesday morning, basically, make sure you have those if you're trying to lock this down. If you complete this with 6 3-point moments, you actually also get a Series 2 base pack. And I know this is very specific requirements, but I mean, last week's Kawhi's asked for like 5 run it backs of former NBA Finals MVPs, and it was like $1,000 to collect that. So good to see they continue the breadth there, and not a repeat of the WNBA fandom set that they had tried to drop as well, which had a lot of issues and a lot of complaints with people saying, hey, this is not sustainable the way they're trying to run that. And speaking of that, following up on that, there was a lot of people with the Tarasi challenge that, didn't expect these challenges with accessibility. You need 4 legendary moments to be able to collect that and complete the fandom set. So they had to pivot a little bit, come out with a statement and talk about, dropping a credit to people for participating that had issue and whatnot. But the key here, I think, takeaway that I had a lot of bells go off of my head is that now all moments from the WNBA fandom set will have their collector scores increased to 30 points each permanently. So people out there looking opportunistically to stack, obviously, then we're looking at these moments. But that was a significant attempt to try to make up, what had happened here.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, the transparency's there. They realize what happened. They are trying to fix it. So, and I mean, it's brand new, and they're learning as they go. So, kudos to them.
Yeah. By the same token, some people were saying, hey, let's get some more information up front, right? We're talking about transparency and better planning. So at least the dialogue is happening, but there's a lot of moving pieces to it, as we all know. One other interesting thing I thought over the past week, we had seen that, there was a lot of interest in the NBA TopShot community with Ballerz, which is a PFP project with utility on the Flow blockchain. So people were able to use their dapper dollars and whatnot, sold out. So you're going to see lots of people with these as their profile pics, really bigging it up. And even our own Moneyball came through, representing here with his profile pic. Also has the squad up here and some of the communities that he's a part of and proud of representing with Wales. So shout out to Moneyball, who takes care of us in the NFL fantasy or prop bet, whatever we're going to call it, the NFL committee that's helping us run our gamification for the league right now. So shout out to you, Moneyball.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you scoop one of these Ballers, Roon?
No, I actually didn't even know about this.
I know you're a pixelated PFP fan.
No, actually, I've never. I haven't seen these. I'm gonna have to look into it. So I was too worried about the pigskin apes.
Right. Yeah. Which a lot of us have, by the way, and some people were going in on historic numbers and a lot of different things. So. Yeah, yes.
Picked up Randall Cunningham, so
yeah, I have one. I really haven't. There's a ton of ways you can get into some different things with fantasy and whatnot over there on their Discord. So definitely worthwhile to scoop if you have it. I just haven't had the time to really embed myself. Maybe you could school me as we go on some of the different utilities I should be leveraging with it, but just haven't yet.
No problem.
What else happened over the past week, man? NBA TopShot was on the front page of Rarible. That was cool. And that's because of their integration with the Blockto wallet, I believe, right? So to see TopShot front and center on such a big platform was interesting. We saw that the number 75 serials on the Series 3 moments will have a special kind of gold diamond icon calling it out because of the NBA 75th anniversary. So another opportunity for people to scoop and get something rare-ish from just a common and whatnot. No timeline on the NFL dapper product that I've gotten from Roon, although I do try to bribe her every week, and unfortunately it hasn't worked yet. But I'll find the secret sauce sometime soon.
That's gonna be a good one.
And what else happened? I did think this was cool. We had a little conversation on some throwback players. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of a certain era of the NBA. We started talking about Anthony Hardaway, Penny, who had like a silky smooth, nasty game. He was so nasty. And I think I think it actually started because I was talking about the movie Blue Chips with Shaq and taking it back. And interestingly, and those who don't know, to see Penny now coaching over at Memphis is pretty cool to see his kind of revival in everybody's spotlight there. But our own community member, 1 Cent Collector, chimed in. They're a big collector of Penny Hardaways, and actually that's the reason for their Discord nick, which I had no idea until we had the conversation. I never put it together. So it's 1 Cent Collector because they collect pennies. Right. So,
that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So here's some that they had graded. They also put in this sheet of what they're sitting on at home. So obviously, a big time fan. So I thought that was pretty cool. Little insight on one of our own. I did want to mention to you guys that I know some people were interested in this. Hot Wheels, their drop on wax is actually going to be tomorrow. So if anyone was interested in the Hot Wheels drop, it's coming out tomorrow on wax. Now, I don't use wax a lot. I have to be honest with you guys. I had a lot of frustrations with the platform, but people tell me it's better. People tell me their experience has improved. And knowing what they have for IPs and what they have on the platform, I should probably get with the program because
you and me both.
They have Mattel, they have Hasbro.
Oh yeah,
they have Funko, which is huge, right?
Oh, yep.
So as much vacillation as I may have, if Transformers dropped, I'd be downloading within the next 2 seconds, right? I'd be making sure I have my wallet loaded, locked, ready to go. So if this was on your radar, be sure to check tomorrow for the Hot Wheels drop. I think it has some tie-ins to the physicals too that are pretty cool. So you can check out some more of the details on that.
Nice.
You may have taken a peek over at the current standings as we head into this week's pick'em. Fury looks like he may run away with it. Depends if he went counter, if he picked counter everyone else on the trends here, but a logjam at second place. So we will see one of these people that are in second place right now likely round out second and third. So a lot of familiar places, a lot of familiar faces, a couple of new ones. And shout out to our prop bet winners over the past week. We had HF 1998 and MPM on Monday. Springles came through on Thursday with another win. Some of these people I see all the time. So obviously they're really good at this. And then last night, hot off the presses, I haven't even put this in the community Discord yet, but we actually had a tie between the aforementioned 1 Cent Collector and SGS Baller. They both had 6 correct and an exact bullseye on the tiebreaker. They both put 55. So shout out to both of you. There were 29 participants. So another good week, another good showing in our prop bets. And so we're going to have another one tonight. I'll post it right after our stream here. Be sure to get in your submission for tonight's game for an opportunity to get some whale. And shout out to Paul, who has won a couple of times and then ran to Dolphins and said, hey, guys, even if you don't love football, hop into the room, play. It's fun. It makes it fun, even if, your team's not in it or you don't love it. Anyone has a chance. And so that's what we enjoy about the way that we're running the gamification. You don't need to do it all year. You can come in just 1 week and be effective and be able to talk smack with everybody. And also sometimes, the stars align and you come through. I think that's what happened the other week where I ended up in first place for the pick'em. I just did so bad that when it was a big upset week, I ended up scoring top spot. So that could happen to anybody. So shout out to the whole crew that runs this for us. Our football squad that runs this, and really I couldn't do it without them. So Rads to Moneyball to Hooper Dude, shout out to you guys for keeping things going and keeping the lights on here.
And I will say that Paul's way of getting people to participate more actually got me to participate, because I wasn't doing this because I had so many other things going on. I haven't been paying attention to this, and so I did it for the first time last week, and boy was I wrong with half of the results from this past weekend. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot more. It was so fun.
Hey man, lightning strikes. You never know. And Rads, yes, shout out to Rads, the first participant to break 100 wins. I mean, not 100 wins, 100 correct picks in the Pick'em League, dominating. So it seems from that, but I'd like to see how many times he's placed. I think at the end I'll do a scoreboard to just see, who actually really ran it up on everyone else and low key was hustling. Someone said, "Hey, are you Ace from Casino over here? What's your in?" So we'll see what's going on there. But Rads, I feel like there's a couple of weeks where you fell off a little bit. I think T Rads came through and kind of intimidated you, but I'm glad to see you found your stride again.
It's a good one.
So what else do we have going on over this past week? The packs. What do you think? Should we rip some? Should we give some away? What should we do?
Oh, definitely rip them. Definitely rip them. If you want to give them away, that's on you. I'll let you decide that, but I'm saying rip them.
Yeah, well, I think it'll take us a long time to give away whatever this would be, 5 packs worth. By the way, I think I showed a picture. I actually did pull out those cards from when I was a kid and was hustling on the corner with the older kids. And so I'm going to do a live stream and kind of show everyone. I'll wait till next stream just because I want to rip these packs and be able to give some away. But the funny thing is, one of them is actually, I sat down to try to draw myself into my own basketball card.
Oh,
like
nice.
I must have taken like 2-3 hours trying to put the stats together and like what I thought I would grow into, but unfortunately never happened because I was 6 feet tall at 13 and then never grew since. But that's neither here nor there. I'd love to show you guys next time. So I'll get the cam up and running and be able to literally show you me kind of thumbing through and going through them. I looked really quick because I want to have some reactions that are kind of authentic when I look at them too, but some interesting cards in there for sure. A couple laughers and a couple wows. I can't believe you have that.
Nice.
All right, so let's rip a little. What I'm thinking is let's rip 4, and then maybe the last pack, we can ask for some prompts in the stream text. You can give me some names. We'll spin the wheel and give away the moments.
Sounds good.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some rookies. Maybe maybe we'll get something that's a LaMelo or something that people have their eyes on. So let's rip.
And that one rookie from Toronto who's got that awesome 3 would be nice to get.
All right, Roon, which way we go? Center out?
We're going right. We're going to start with the right one first. Oh, yep.
A lot of tickets were gained from these polls from right here.
Yes, a lot. Davis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Yep. Jordan Poole. All right, that Davis one was nice. I think out of these 3.
I'm gonna go left to right this time.
Yep. Pretty standard. Devontae Green. Yes, I like this one. Yeah, that's a good one. Hit that center. Oh, that's nice.
That's a sick moment, by the way.
It's pretty dirty. Oh, it's a dunk. Okay. OG. Yeah, that was a good one. I gotta tell you when I saw that Raptors logo.
All right, what are we on? Pack 4 now?
This is 4, yep.
All right. I think we're saving the sick pull for the last pack for the giveaway.
Right? Yep.
All right, 1 pack left.
Let's see.
So how should we do this? I got a wheel up.
Yep.
Let's get some responses in stream text. Roll holders, drop a Joe Boo if you want to be part of the giveaway. We'll give away 3 moments. We'll throw your name onto the wheel if you drop a Joe Boo, and we will. I guess we'll spin the wheel, and then we'll go in that order, right? Whoever we spin up first, we'll get the first pull, etc.
All right, we got a few Jobus.
All right, let's throw these guys in.
Yep.
Let's see. We got Rads.
Yep.
We got I can't pronounce it. Okay.
Yep.
We got Kick. I'm gonna go with Kick for now.
Kick, there you go. Yep. MJS 604. Then Shamab. Good job, Contact. Contact just wrote it on out. So, 2 dogs. Wink.
You know what? I'll accept it.
Yeah. You got the spelling right, so that's good. What a great movie. There's a couple people still typing. ASX.
You know what? I started trying to read the emoji, so I'm glad you chimed in there with the ASX.
Skull, pumpkin. No.
I'll leave it open for 1 more minute. So, Roon, what you been collecting over the past week? Or you just been sitting on your hands with the market kind of fluctuating?
I've been hard on Philly. I'm really bummed that there was only 1 Philly card in this pack, which I didn't even get. But it's both. I was looking for that Toronto pull, and I might buy it from someone.
I think I might go through. I really haven't been that active in the market myself. Just been so busy. It's been a crazy week here at Whale as well as personally. But there are some moments just within that archive set that I'd like to have, even though they're not the most flashy. Like I'd love to have that Pierce in my bag. I think that's like $30 now floor, right? So there's some that are just I'd like to make sure I have and shore up my collection here.
So we got one more contestant here. Maya.
Lene. Okay. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, let's do this.
First pull will be Look at that. Look at that. Hopping in the last moment, dramatic entrance. And gets the first pull. All right. You know what? Let's spin them all now, and then we can
yeah, and then we'll do them in order. She gets they get the first one. You should probably have them pick which one too. Maybe they could type out which one they want to choose, like to click on.
Okay, I like that. Lenny, which one would you like us to get? Left, center, or right for the first one?
Who wants left? ASX. Oh, no.
Ooh, slid in.
He slides right in. Let's see here. I'm going to ask which one Kick wants.
Kick, do you want center or right?
Let's see here.
Center. All right, We're going left to right.
All right.
Good luck, everyone. You got to take some notes here so we know who to send to whom.
Exactly. Yep. No, I got this.
All right.
So opening the first one on the left. All right. Yep. Dirty block.
That dirty.
Dirty block. Oh, that's such a good one. All right, kick.
Haven't seen a lot of rooks in these packs.
No.
All right, it's on you, Rads. See if you can bring your mojo, your Joe Boo to us, and we can finally get a sick cereal or a sick bowl here.
Celtics.
Hey!
Look at that.
I'm with it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's.
I mean, it's a nice moment. There's a million Tatum moments, but less than Jaylen
sure.
Brown, though. I think at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jaylen, how many? He has like 30. He has like a ton of moments. Although I think that his moment is more limited in this series, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It's only like 10,000 or something.
Yeah, nothing on as much. All right.
All right. So we'll send those out. I've been whitelisted, so I can send them out right away.
I got who got what.
All right. You took some notes. I'm glad.
Yep.
What else did I have here? I had a couple of things I wanted to show you guys. That's the wheel, obviously. If you heard the intro, I threw up a little new intro. Hustle Westbrook and I have been experimenting with some different countdowns and bumpers for the series. We just thought like the vibe that we have here is a little bit different than the rest of the media that we stream. So we wanted to get some differentiation. So be on the lookout for that. We're still experimenting. Nothing is set in stone, but that music that accompanied it was from this artist Hexenkraft, who is super dope, kind of electronic / metal. And my little dude put me onto him. Actually, if you go to Bandcamp, he has a ton of music that's really, really good. And he actually encourages people to use it in their media and in their streams. Okay. But I'll play that bumper again before we leave and take out the show, just because I think it was pretty cool. But again, that's Hexenkraft. Big shout out to Hexenkraft for keeping me motivated when I'm deadlifting in the gym and whatnot. And super cool that my little dude found him of all people, which is interesting because like I've thought about this before, like kids, they're finding music and stuff and consuming media because it's in video games or like they see it in Roblox or whatever. And so over the past year, this kid's, in elementary school putting me on to some of the best music that I've found from like independent musicians because he found them in these games.
And it's the best way for these artists to do it. I mean, this is a gold mine now for them. I mean, to be discovered this way and to get out that way socially is awesome.
I did have to show you one more thing. So the conversation was, I'm talking with him, right? I'm like, we're going to do like a little intro. Why don't you tell me a song you think would be good for an intro to like a show, right? Just, conversate and work with him. So he gives me this band and this this part of a song for an intro. It's Japanese death metal because that's something that he's into, right? So I guess he heard it in like a game called Geometry Dash that he plays, which is kind of a rhythm platformer. It's hard to explain, but he got into like exploring Japanese death metal. So there's this band that like you can barely find information on them, but they're so sick. But anyway, what he gave me to make this intro was like so overly hype. I'm like, I can't do that because I'd go run through a brick wall. Like I'd jump out my window if I played this. So
maybe X copies.
yeah. Maybe if I was X copy, it'd be appropriate. But I have to play this for you. This is from my, the little dude, 7, 8 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, a little heavy. It sounds
a little like Trivium. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It was. I have to, I have to keep him feeding me all the latest memes and all the dope music to keep me on my toes. With that, I think I covered most of what I had over the past week. I know there was a lot that went on even prior to that with what happened in NFT NYC, but we're on to different things now. We're already looking ahead to the next event.
Yep. No, this is awesome. It was a good week. I have a feeling that this week might be a little bit more interesting. So yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm just keeping my eye on the chat, see if there's anything the community wanted to bring up or talk about. Obviously, a lot going on in the market, a lot of different collectibles actually dropping over the next week or two. So keep an eye on the sports NFT room, which is what the name is now. It's no longer TopShot Lounge. I've seen a couple people wondering about that, like what's up with that? I like that name better. As you may or may not have known, there's kind of a streamlining going on here at Whale, and we want to future-proof what we do in our community. We love our sub-community of collectibles and sports, and really we've expanded, right? We talk about Hot Wheels, we're talking about NFL on Dapper, Tom Brady on Autograph, like all kinds of stuff. So by making it sports NFT, really keeps it in line, helps people that just pop into the Discord know what we're about, but also, the truth be told, we're talking about a lot beyond NBA Top Shot. I may have got us here, but certainly, once NFL, once all these other things open, the floodgates will be pouring in people from all walks of life. So even folks that don't even normally collect and don't even normally check sports have popped in and participated with us. So it's an inclusive community. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. We'll continue to do that. So don't let the name change fool you. It's just us making sure that we're in the right lane to continue to bigger and better things as we continue on.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so I think everybody's just aiming for me to drop the links for the prop bets tonight. I will get that in right after this. I will take you out with another run of that bumper, just so you can check the Hexenkraft live. Again, if you dig the music, go ahead and check him on Hexenkraft on Bandcamp, likewise Hexenkraft on Twitter, and you can hear more of that. Everybody, have a great week.
Have a good one, everyone.